they Tamar started. Her
Wrong,
sister
young girl.
started
That's
the
the problem.
her sister started the Tony Braxton challenge, where you have to sing songs like Tony. So it's been a whole bunch of people saying, "Hi, hi,
Let me address this motherfucker in the middle real quick.
Who you gonna
Hold
address?
on. This nigga here. Talking about he got the wrong young girl. Unless that bitch is Doogie Howser, she don't know half the shit us old bitches know. I would tell
Not
you that
Doogie.
right now.
You didn't give him not only a dude, you gave him a dick
House,
too. Not Doogie Howser.
She's the wrong young bitch. These young bitches don't know a motherfucking thing. You ain't ready to game. Your gang reflexes ain't the same.
You sound like you're talking from experience, but I'm just here to tell you.
High five, Sumaku motherfucking Lottie.
What you got, Karen? What you got, Karen?
All I'm saying is I'm in agreement with Gray Jean. Okay. I'm in agreement with understanding that they don't know, not all of them know what the fuck they doing. But they don't come with the baggage either.
That's because you haven't created it for them yet.
Well, there you go. There you got it right there. That's the Bible. That's okay.
It's funny to watch that and then get caught off guard.
Right. You're like,
it's like, oh, well, welcome everyone to another episode of Bring It to the Table. It is the most wonderful time of the year. So
they keep saying it.
Let me tell you the things that have been going on. How was your week, Dean?
It was, it wasn't that bad. I should say that. It was a good work weekend as far as, getting through some things. But, it's one of those surprise kind of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very I'm tired of Zoom conferences. I'm gonna just say that. I'm so tired of them. I'm tired of them because I had them plenty. But some great things have been progressing from these business meetings. So I'm great and I'm grateful. Ain't no struggle bus over here, so I'm thanking God for that. So it's just been a week. I think though I am tired of being in one place looking at a screen. I think that's what I'm tired of.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking to a screen. Like I'm tired of it's a weird mind trick. It's funny because I love engaging and I love talking to somebody. But wrapping my brain constantly around that I'm talking to a screen, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, let's put the children and the elderly people.
Yeah, go ahead and put them on.
Disclaimer. Put them up. Put them to rest. There may be some things that are said that are not children and elderly friendly, unless you want them to learn some new things. That's on you, mamas and daddies. Yes. Okay? That's on you. Otherwise, put them up.
All right. So one of the things that I did want to talk about.
Hey, Claudia.
Did you see the reports that Lizzo is now saying that she has been in a mental funk and that she's no longer happy with her body and she has done some disgusting things to her body and she's just not in the best mental health and she's now on this 10-day smoothie detox and it's another form of what I was talking about last week of mental health and it's time for us to mentally check up on our friends.
Yeah.
The reason
I follow her on TikTok, and she's been going through this now for about a minute. Like she's put up some really heavy videos on TikTok about her mental health and how she's been feeling. So
I've been seeing the mental shutdown coming for a long time, and the problem is when you have a lot of friends who are constantly saying, girl, you look good. Oh, girl, yeah, you work that. Yes, it's all great. Ooh, yeah, girl, show that fat. Show. Girl, them legs. Oh, yeah, slap that ass. Oh, girl, beauty. when you're not actually looking at your friend?
You know what I say about that? Someone who struggle with their weight. It really doesn't matter what other people think. It only matters how you feel. You can tell me I'm beautiful all day, but if I don't feel beautiful, if I don't feel happy with what I see in the mirror, there's really nothing you can say to change that. You might put a Band-Aid on my emotions for that moment, but no.
Yeah.
And I think she's been struggling with that for some time. And I think being in the spotlight assists that a little bit. Like there might have been a little bit of confidence in how she felt about herself, but you will read those comments. As much as you try to block yourself or protect yourself from what the public says about you, you see them, you hear them, people will bring them to you. And that's where it's deposited on your subconscious mind. And you're going to address it at some point in time mentally.
You know, I never thought, oh, what is that?
Is there echo?
Echo. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's back.
I don't hear it.
I do. Ooh. Yeah.
There is an echo.
There is an echo.
Claudia, happy birthday, love.
Okay, is there still an echo?
I don't hear it.
But can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, is the echo gone?
It seems like it's gone. Audience, can you hear it?
Okay.
Tell us, do you hear it? Echo with CJ.
Okay. So what I was saying was I never thought that there was confidence there. I always thought that there was just a woman who was trying to will herself into believing that she did have confidence. You know how when people just speak to themselves enough, even though they don't feel it at all. And I just think she kept speaking and it was never there. But I think that her team was just that of, we got your girl power. You got this girl. Wear the shirt with your booty out in the back into the Laker game and show the people what you got. No. And I think that was false narrative that was being presented to her, playing on the psyche of the mental that it's not there.
Well, let's keep it real. Her gift, her weight.
It was.
That is what they invested in. If as her as a singer and when you.
I know she.
Yeah. And I think when you no longer feel that way about yourself, but the world is saying, well, this is how you make your money. This is what we know you as, the overweight lady who can sing with the attitude. When you, I think the industry sometimes will deliberately stifle your ability to grow. When you decide you want to grow, it's not convenient for them money-wise to do so.
Yeah. Because for every video, I hear the echo again.
Yeah, I hear it now too.
Slapping her ass or twerking, or it was just, and sometimes it wasn't about
body shaming. It was literally, it was disgusting.
Yeah,
it was disgusting.
Yeah.
It wasn't body shaming. It was disgusting, and it got to the point of, where do you go from here? Like some people argue, well, Lady Gaga can do it all the time, but there's a difference, because people were with Lady Gaga. People are laughing at you. And let me tell y'all something. I'm a huge fan of Lizzo. I ain't talking about.
I am too.
I love the music. I've been to her concerts. The girl kills. She is like a part of my tribe. I love her like with everything. I love the girl. I just always felt like there was no help, and there is no help for her. So with this 10-day, juicing she does, I always feel like if you are really trying to get your body and your mind together, you're going to do that offline.
Yes. Because it's really hard to do with everybody in your business. Too many opinions.
Really trying to get yourself together, you're absolutely right. Because you're going to be, you're posting and you're going to be looking at the remarks, the comments and everything like that. That's not healing you.
No.
It's just not. That's why Tamar Braxton, much as I love the girl ain't healed.
It's a double-edged sword too. That's how you make your money, right? Social media, being in the public eye, communicating. So there is a certain degree of inclusion that might need to happen, but they don't really need to be a part of the process.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
I'm like, you just tried to commit suicide in July, and you're now on a podcast, and you all on your Instagram and still doing, and I'm like, how do you heal if you're constantly scrolling on what people you damn right, Tanya. Adele did it in silence. Adele left, came back,
and came back a new motherfucker. And it's not that I guess everybody's journey is different, but this world, man, you're wrong if you're right, and you're right if you're wrong. You know what I mean? And or you're just wrong either way, and to other people, and you have to protect your peace. You gotta protect your peace.
There is a we have that echo back. I'm so sorry, guys. We're gonna have it now. We're just having a bit of technical difficulties today.
Yeah, you're going in and out now.
Yeah, a wise woman told me and said that all you need is one friend, and you will never have to have a therapist in your life. One good friend. And I question: do these people have a friend, a genuine friend that'll tell you right and wrong?
I think most people get to the point in their careers where the filter has to come later, because what happens is you don't know who's right for you and who's wrong for you, because you're building a brand, you're building your career, you're building your life. And it's going to naturally include people that you really probably shouldn't be around anyway, but they serve a purpose. So you live in this false sense of accomplishment and friendship and love, and the industry is just built that way. And if you don't have a solid foundation before entering, you're in trouble. You in danger, girl. You in danger.
I realize the swig of that big swig. I like what Claudia said, though. I like the comparison she made to Ashley Graham and to Lizzo. The thing about those two, Claudia, is Ashley didn't have to sell fat to the masses. Ashley said, I'm just a girl who wants to model, who happens to be big.
Right.
Lizzo is, I'm a big girl. I like to eat. Here I am in a bikini, and I'm going to twerk in front of you. And the exploitation of her weight, it's what's bothering her and now some of the people. Because she's come to the realization of, I guarantee you she had, wow, these people were not really with me, and I'm still not healed. Out of all of this admiration, out of all of this love, I'm still not healed. She's coming to the realization of that, and I'm going to say, God bless you, baby, because once you realize self, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. So she's at the right age. You know, she's at the age, she's 33, 34.
Oh yeah, that is a major transition.
Ooh, I tell you, that Jesus year for me, I was like, Lord.
And I can't tell you how much I can't stand to hear. I couldn't stand to hear when I gained weight, or when especially I was going through health issues. But you're beautiful just the way you are. Oh, you're fine just the way that you are. No, motherfucker, I'm not. That's your opinion. Thank you. I appreciate that. But no, I'm not. Yeah. And that was just my personal feeling and outlook. I know what it is. I see myself every day when I get up. I don't need you to, no.
Because I remember when I lost it's like, oh my God, the echo today. Wendy, is there something we can do online? Is there something we can? Okay, there it is. It's gone. Okay.
I don't hear it right now, so you're good.
I remember when you were first talking about your weight loss surgery, and I hope I didn't say, oh, you were fine, but I just remember thinking, why is she having weight loss surgery? Because I guess I don't look at people's weight first unless you tell me about it. And that's just me. Because I look at your personality and I look at what's your next move on how you're going to treat me first. And then I start looking at your outer shell. And I promise God, that's me. I don't look if you ugly or not, if you're pretty, if you're big, if you're skinny. I'm going to notice if your breath stinks, if you be in my face, I'm going to let you know that. But I really don't look at body types first. Your personality speaks to me first. And yeah, I remember when you said it, I was like, oh. And then I remember as the weight started going down and you were showing me other pictures, because mentally I still wasn't looking at your weight. And so, but with Lizzo's case, I just think that she's had not enough affirmation on the talent she is. Because guys, she is talented. The girl can sing, she can play the flute, she can produce. She's talented, but the gimmick was the weight. It was, if you look at it, the gimmick was, I'm gonna wear the same thing Beyonce wears for a big girl, and she's from Texas too. So that I get it. A lot of
but they created a certain level of buy-in. That somebody had to sit down with her and say, "This is your way in," and she had to believe that for a minute. But I'm sure there was a point in time that she never felt she wanted to stay there. You know what I mean? And so it's like, okay, now when does my talent count?
And here's I have an answer for that. Here's the process. So now she's doing all these detox things. That detox ain't gonna help her. Now then next is gonna be, I'm gonna exercise rigorously. That's not gonna help her. She is going to figure out that it is really what her mind is ready for, what she's intellectually ready for. She's doing this because it's too many people now. She's saying she's being big. So that onion layer is coming off, and she says, maybe I am big. Maybe I do need to get healthier. So that onion layer is coming off now. Next is going to be, I'm losing weight for the wrong reason. I need to lose weight for me. I'm still losing weight for y'all.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come to that. And I don't think she really wants to lose weight. I think she wants to just mentally be healthy.
I think so too. But the caveat is when she does lose the weight, she will have to reinvent herself professionally.
Ooh. And Adele, she does not.
But Adele is a little different.
Because Adele is a white woman.
That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, Adele was always respected for her talent first, not being fat. Being fat was second. For Lizzo, fat was first.
Mm-hmm.
So she can still rely on people love her music because loved her music. People love Lizzo's I don't give a fuck unapologetic attitude about being fat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when that goes away, now what?
Do you think she had to do it that way because she's black? Because Lizzo had been underground for 6 years before. And like I knew of Lizzo 3 years prior to her making it, like being big. And she was still under the radar.
Well, let's keep it real. Having that degree of talent amongst us people of color isn't uncommon.
It's not.
The question is, how do you make the world see you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so she chose a lane to be seen because she was tired of being underground and overlooked.
I think I'm gonna just shave my head bald and put on the
boy. You better not.
And walk down the street and say,
"You better not."
I've been singing for so long.
You better not. Hey, Nargis.
Oh, I love that.
Nargis.
That's a beautiful name.
It's pronounced Nargis. It's
Nargis. I like that
name, and she's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. So hi, love.
See, Tanya says she has to heal her wounds on the inside before she can. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Inside out first.
And this goes to for me to talk about the next conversation about holidays and mental health. One time my mother and I were riding down the street. I will never forget this story. The song came on, "What do the lonely do at Christmas?" And as my mom was driving, my mom said, "Commit suicide." I said, "Mama." Yeah, I know. My mom was off the chain at times. And I said, "Mama," she said, "Well, hell, what do the lonely do?" And that always stuck with me as a joke, but also as a serious connection to the holidays, because the holidays are known for when the suicide rates go even higher.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're at their highest limit because of COVID. And my heart is really going out to those who are struggling with mental health right now, because I want to let the person on the receiving end of that mental health, it's not your fault. It's really not your fault. That person is, or who you know that person to be, is struggling to just be seen and be known through the sickness. And mental health has different characteristics. They could be smiling in your face, and then you come to their home and it's trash and garbage everywhere. You could come to their home and see a picture perfect life, and as soon as you close that door, they are sitting in a pool of their own sorrow and don't know what to do with themselves.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
before Cameron was born,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas was not one of my favorite holidays. It was a struggle for me because I had
Okay.
missed my mom so much during those times, right?
Yeah.
So when Cameron was born, Christmas became fun again because of him,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for the last 19 years, I had a reason to enjoy Christmas. I worry sometimes that when he gets older and becomes an adult and starts his own life, will I still feel that way? Because I struggled this year I normally put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I just put the tree up a few days ago. And the only reason why is Cameron was like, why wouldn't we put the tree up? Because I didn't want to put the tree up.
Oh.
And he was like, we got to put the tree up. And I was like, you know what? We got to put the tree up. But in my head, I only put the tree up because of him, because I probably would have put it up if he wasn't here.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
I hear you now.
Oh, okay. How has let's start with us. How's your mental health being this holiday season?
I don't feel like it's Christmas. And it's not, and I don't know what to call it. I'm just like, I'm not excited. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I kind of want it to go away.
Okay.
I want it to be done with.
Okay. I've been feeling a bit lonely. And it's not lonely for company. It's lonely for how good it used to be.
Right.
That's what I've been lonely for. I'll hear a certain Christmas song, or when I went to the grocery store, I saw Washington red apples and I started crying because my grandmother would always have Washington red apples and walnuts in the house during Christmas time. And you can always come in and smell eggnog and something appley cinnamon cooking. And it reminded me of my grandmother. And that's the loneliness that I was feeling because, the older we get, the more we start losing people.
Yeah.
And then not only we start losing people, we start losing traditions. And we start losing those traditions that the grandparents set forth. And we start losing those traditions of being up at 2 a.m. and seeing your grandparents cooking, never going to sleep. They're going by 5 o'clock, they in the bed, getting right back up at 6 o'clock to open the gifts with you. And
but here's the power in traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Because after I put the tree up, I felt better. So when you don't feel like things aren't the way that they used to be, there are the things that you do control, like putting the tree up, like cooking a nice dinner, baking cookies. I was like, you know what? I can still control these things. So I'm going to do these things.
Okay.
That way we can control the environment. We have our health. Like none of us are in the hospital with COVID. So I had to reboot for a second. It doesn't feel the same. However, I am going to make sure I'm responsible for the things that I do control, like making sure the boys have a good dinner and that part. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
I'll tell you that I do miss my grandmother. My grandmother was the eldest of 24, so I miss her. My cousin Ken is on. I saw you log in this time, Ken. I miss her getting up on Christmas morning talking to all of her sisters. And she would call every one of them, even they were on 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, they were just on the phone talking and yakking it up. And I miss those days of laying in the bed, listening to her, cackling with her sisters, asking what did each other cook and who made biscuits and what did the kids get, And even though my mom
are any of them still with us, the sisters?
So there were 3 sisters that were lost. So it was my grandmother was the eldest, her sister right under her, and then my cousin Ken's mother, which was the 4th oldest sister. So and they all passed away at 66.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
So
right?
why don't you call the ones that are still here and continue the tradition? See, good.
I think I'm one of the few nephews who calls the aunts and who talks to them, and I talk to all my cousins. Like I have family. So the cousin that's on right now, Ken, basically used to take me to school when I was a kid, and I mean just nothing but good memories with him. It's just our family is very close. We try to keep everything together, but since the older generation are dying off, Us kids ain't cooking. Like I can cook, but I ain't cooking no big meal for no fucking family. I ain't doing that shit. um, and we're a little bit distant. Like, okay, so my cousins, the ones I grew up with, like it's about 50, 60 of us. It's a bunch of us, but we all grew up together, like as brothers and sisters. We all did. That's why we all so close. But a lot of their children, I don't know, because now that we're older, our children, I'm not.
You're right. Isn't that funny though? We grew up with our cousins like they were brothers and sisters. Yeah. Like, but my son isn't close to my cousin's children because they don't spend that kind of time. Like we spent summers together. We spent weekends together. We went to camp together. Like we did everything. Yeah, I never really felt like an only child growing up because those were your first friends, right? Mm-hmm. So, Christmas is here. We control the environment. Let's make sure we control the controllables.
Yeah, and I hear you, audience.
I do too.
Yeah, I it's just one of those, I miss, like, I remember last Christmas I spent it in Vegas, which I had a great time with my family in Vegas. Like, and I call them my family. They're my family, and I love them. Mm-hmm. But I just love the tradition of staying up with your aunts and just cooking and watching them cook and talk shit and play cards and drink a little something with them. And, and my grandmother, who was she was the second parent in my house. I mean, I was born on her birthday, and we would play cards while she got food cooking. And I watched her cook. That's why I can cook, because I watched my grandmother. My mom wasn't no cook, y'all. My mama was, we're going to eat out 4 times a week, and she may make some spaghetti or some pork chops every now and then, but she wasn't no cook.
That's funny. With the pork chops? Spaghetti with the pork chops?
Separate
together?
Days.
Oh, okay. I was going to say spaghetti and pork chops together.
And, so I that's what I was feeling lonely for. I was feeling, and I'll be back in Texas soon. But I think that mentally, if you have a place to go or somebody to talk to, please do it, or just, and again, if you are, I just want to make this disclaimer. If you are feeling suicidal, there is help for you. Make sure you call the suicide hotline, and we will provide that for you. Because we want to make sure that we don't lose you in 2020, because 2021 can be a whole new avenue for your blessings, can be a whole new outlook for you to do whatever you said you want to do. Let me tell you something. Age don't mean nothing. You on your own timeline. God has you at whatever age that is. You can look at people like, I'm gonna tell you something. One of my favorite shows is I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball didn't get her big break until she was 40. Tina Turner did not get her big break until she was 40. So anybody,
Morgan Freeman was older too.
Morgan Freeman was, Tamar Braxton.
Taraji P.
Henson. You can look at all of these people that, it took them a minute. They did significant things, but they pop off happen.
Yes.
After a certain age. So I don't want any of our listeners out there thinking that this holiday season, compounded with what you already been feeling, is going to make you even more depressed. Because if nobody in the world ever tells you this, I'm going to tell you, I love you, and God loves you first, because he put you here and he still got you breathing. So obviously there's some more reason for some more work to be done. And my mama would always tell me that if you wake up one more day, you got another day to do something great.
You know what's positive? We all made it through this year, because there's some people that did not make it. So the fact that we made it, no, we made it to Christmas. Oh, well, no, we ain't there yet either. We made it to Thanksgiving. We made it far enough. And there's some people who just due to COVID didn't make it to this point. So I'm grateful that I made it. I'm grateful that my family is healthy. I'm grateful you made it too. And all of our listeners, we've been each other's family every Tuesday.
And thank you, Wendy, for putting the National Suicide Prevention hotline on there. So just to make sure that you guys need it or just want to pass it on to somebody. But real talk, I'm glad we made it this far. I'm glad that we've made it, because people who were so scared of getting COVID caught COVID and died. There were some people who were taking all the precautions, doing all what they were supposed to do, and in some slip of a trick, caught it and died.
Yep.
And for those of you who all still don't believe that it's real, please look at the people around you. I know one of you guys knows somebody that has had it, regardless if
I
death
know
has
people
happened
that
or not.
have it
But
right
I know
now.
people that have had, know people that have had it and beat it or having it now. So I want you to know that it doesn't always mean death, but that doesn't mean that the virus isn't real. So, and all of you all who are struggling with your mental health, again, I'm no doctor. I just know that sometimes talking to somebody and just telling them how you feel makes you feel a lot better. So, if
and check on your strong friends. Please do check on the people who don't seem to need to, that in your eyes, to be checked on, because that's not true. They just figured out a way to not show it. Like, check on your strong friends sometimes. Reach out.
Reach out.
And thank you, Patrice. That is actually really, Patrice said we pulled her out of some dark places. You know what? I'm glad you're with us, and I'm glad that we were able to be a part of that. I mean, so many people need it. So if we were able to do that for you, thank you. What y'all don't know is you guys pulled us out of a dark place. We started the show to get out of a funk, to communicate and to create an environment. And so whatever we've done for you, you've done for us. You better know it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay. There we go. I'll say this about strong friends.
You sound fine. You sound fine. Okay. I don't hear it.
I'll say this about strong friends. Strong friends are only strong because they want to show you that. That's it. They want to show you that.
That's it.
It's and I guess I just want to stay in this area for just a little while, because I even look at let me ask this question, because you're a parent, Jay. How do you handle, or if you see your child in a depressive state, how do you handle that? And I don't know if your child has ever been that way. I'm just asking, as a parent, how would you deal with that? How would you handle that? Because our kids are becoming more and more depressed every day. The school system, how the way they have to go to school now, how the way they have to associate with their friends, how the way they have to break down their lives now. How do you deal with a child who is may be in a depressive state?
I ask every day.
I like that.
I ask every day, how was your day? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
And I tell Cameron, and I've always done this, but even more so now, if you're not feeling okay today, that's all right.
Okay.
Come watch a movie with me. Come spend some time with mom. I ask because sometimes, again, it will look like it's normal and it's not. I can always tell when he's off. But because he spends so much time playing games, I got to go and seek it out sometimes and say, hey, you all right here? What's going on? Come watch a movie with your mom. And I share with him when I'm not feeling so well, too. So he can know, hey, I might look like I have it together all the time, too. But today I don't. Here's why. So he feels comfortable enough to communicate that with me. One thing about Cameron is he's great with communicating his feelings with me. So I ask.
That's good. And because most boys' child, we keep it in. We as close as we are to our mothers, because it is a totally different relationship than mothers and daughters and mothers and sons. We like to be strong for our mamas, and that's good that he's able to emote and tell you, what's going on with him. Because I've often wondered, like with other parents, I have friends who have parents whose children are depressed. And I've asked them before, and I've said, what do you do? And they say they just constantly try to talk to the kid. They just constantly try to, even with the school. My brother, my eldest niece from my brother, she goes through in and out of depressive states because she's not able to socialize with her friends anymore, and she's doing, school through Zoom. And she is, when we talk, she tells me that, she's you know, she's in a mental state and she's okay, but you know, she's getting by the best she can. And I think that with the way mental health is today, I hope we can start normalizing it. You know, like if it was a cold, you know, I need to go treat my mental health. I need to go treat my cold. I need to go talk to somebody for my mental health, because people still think that mental health, there's a stigma behind it. They some think that it's not real. Some think that people are just acting out. Some people, you know,
it's very real and it's very normal. I just think that we live in a time where we associate any level or degree of sadness with mental illness. Sadness and having a bad day is normal. And if you can't get through, what happens is, I think mental illness is born from never ever dealing with the sadness and the bad day, or accepting that the fact that it's okay to have those. So I'm always in his ear about that.
I wanted to talk about that. Do you think that the manic depressive states or the bipolarism, not only is it a chemical imbalance, but it's also issues that one has not dealt with?
Well, see, that's that is to the extreme there. And I think that there are a lot of people who have not been diagnosed. Let's stick with our community at hand. Mental illness and dealing with it is something that we don't do up until now. We just started doing it. Right?
Talk about going to therapy.
So there are people out there that have normal sadness and manic depressive and bipolarism. And I think that we have a hard time filtering between the two because we don't talk about it. We don't learn, we don't identify it. We don't discuss it. Yeah. We tell our boys, suck it up, stop crying like a little bitch, right? I don't do that, but I know people who talk to their kids like that. If you're constantly telling your sons and your daughters to internalize their emotions, they grow up to be adults and then they release them and it develops into something else.
Right.
So I think it's necessary to have conversations at very young ages that it's okay if you're it's okay to be mad. Let's figure out how to get through it. It's okay to be sad. I get sad sometimes. It's how we communicate what's okay and then the solution to it, right? You will never know happiness if you don't know sadness. So to tell people it's not okay to be sad is a lie, and that's not normal. So
this echo is getting on my fucking nerves, like real talk. It is getting on the fucking last bit of my mental capacity to operate. We're talking about somebody breaking down right now. Oh, it stopped.
It's okay, CJ, to be upset about that.
It stopped. It
did. And see, you addressed it. It's okay that you didn't like it.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, wait. Oh no, it's still there. I got it. Hold on a minute.
How come I don't hear it?
I'm gonna try something different.
Oops.
Okay. Oh, but it's still there.
It's worse there. Go back to the computer. Go back.
What is going on?
Why me? On?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the computer. Computer.
Oh, Brian says we hear it.
Yeah, I know, fool.
I want to address this, but I don't want to live here. Let's see. Hey!
Oh! Okay.
Crush my pearls, nigga. What?
Crush your mama much. I scared the shit out of him.
Oh my goodness. Is that Mr. Nelson in a row? Sweetie. Let it open, let it out. Let's snap you up.
Sweet and very proper.
Yes, sweetie, yes. I'll watch
Yes. Okay. Does any of you watch the show Sisters?
Did I what?
See, I'm the only one that watched it. It's a damn good show on BET.
Is it really?
I love it. Every Wednesday. I watch it.
Well, I've heard Tyler is really stepping up. Wait a minute, CJ.
That's your mic. Taylor. What's going on with your mic?
I have no idea. No, I've taken the mic off. I put the mic on.
You still hear me?
There you go. What's that? What you just do?
I've even switched devices, and it's still getting the echo. I mean, maybe, you know, it's the universe.
It could be.
Byron
is glistening. It's the coconut oil, honey. He has to rub it somewhere when he's done.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening in the blind? The storm is glistening.
The safest love on the planet.
B, how was your week?
You know what? I had a very challenging week.
Oh, that's my Judy Garland.
I had a challenging week. My mom, and it's funny because I just got a text from one of my friends who said, it's finally about that time. One of my best friends actually from college. He said, it's about that time. Mom is critical and likely to transition. And love you, bro. Love up on your mom when it's time for them to transition. You realize more than anything, none like mom. I am a blessed man because I've been loved unconditionally by my mom. Love up on your mom. Every chance you have, love on your mom. I wouldn't trade these last years for anything. And what's really crazy about him texting me right now is that, like, my week was, and he's calling me right now to tell him I'm on the show. Dave, let me call you on the show. Everybody's hearing me talk. I'm trying to text you.
So look, Byron,
I love you, man. I was texting and trying to tell Wendy, but what happened was, what's that? I don't have a phone. I got a mic.
Yeah, that's Byron. Nah, that's me. I'm
But it ain't me.
I wonder if the aliens are in their little alignment dance right now. That technology is going shitty.
Should we blame it on the aliens? Because they say they coming. Really?
Blame it on the
Really?
Blame it on, hey.
You know what? Jamie Foxx just had a birthday too, and I swear to you, I was thinking because we went to his birthday party last year. I was like, is he having another one?
I was like, where are y'all masks? Where are y'all? Because one of my homeboys is his producer, and I was like, where are y'all stuff at?
We didn't get the invite. Dang it. I didn't get it this year.
Anybody want some brandy and eggnog?
Oh, that sounds good.
Everybody has their devices off, right? Like their phones and their volumes down and everything like that, right?
Mark Gluckstein says, can we start this show, please?
Can we restart the show?
Can we restart this show?
All of this echo,
Mike.
I'm like, it is
CJ, do me a favor. Mute your phone for a second, CJ. Just mute it.
It's not even on.
Yeah, he's on his computer, on his mic, right?
Here, I'll mute my mic.
Okay. That's 1, 2.
I don't have check 1, 2. He's echoing. Am I echoing? No.
No, you aren't echoing, but I am. Okay, I'm going out and come back in when.
Out and back in. Story of the life.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. All right. Can we freeze?
Can we restart the show?
Can we restart? Listen. Did you see what Cardi bought Offset for his birthday?
Let me ask, huh?
Did you see what Cardi bought Offset for his birthday?
No, because I'm tired of their relationship. I don't even want to.
I don't give a damn. That car is stupid
together
fresh.
Together we are. We together we gone. We together we not. I don't want to hear it no more. Let me.
Here, I just want to test this. I don't know what it is. I've done nothing different than I've done all year round.
I know we ain't did nothing either. But let me ask y'all this: if you could have a chance with one of your closest loved ones that have gone, what would you say to them?
Why the hell did you leave?
Interesting question. Closest loved one that has gone, what would I say?
Why the hell did you leave?
I would, oh, Sting. I know what I would say. I'm hesitating to say it.
10 minutes with them.
I would tell my grandfather Carlton, how much he has been an influence on how I move in business and in life, and how important his business and legacy that he created, that's been in our family for over 40 years, is to us and to me, and how that business belongs with us. That's what I would tell him.
What about you, B?
You have echo.
You do too. Okay,
I don't hear no damn echo.
Okay, here's what's going on. I know what's going on. You have an app that's open that is simultaneously broadcasting us with that app, and it's projecting through your computer. So what's happening is you can close one of these apps, not the app that we're on, but you need to close all the rest of your apps and leave it and leave just ours open, because that's what's happening. Because we're getting a feed from those other apps into this live feed.
Hi, Aunt Carla. Hi, Kennedy. Yes, Auntie. I knew you heard that message, because yeah.
So it's like, because somebody has two apps that are open simultaneously. Either it's a YouTube app, or it's something else, and not us. I'm saying, yeah, it has to be on, because it was happening before we started the show. It has to be on Wendy's end. If I had 10 minutes with my grandmother, I would tell her that during the time of her passing, she had a new grandson, or great-grandson rather. She had a new great-grandson. I would tell her that I finally did make it, that exactly a year after she passed, I got on my first NBC show as a contract player. I would tell her all those things that we dreamed about, happen. I would tell her the family is fine, but we incredibly miss her. I would tell her those things that we talked about, fulfilling her side of the bargain with protecting the family and keeping the family together. I did, hopefully. I would also tell her that we had our first Black president, that she missed that. I would tell her that her granddaughter had some health issues that she surpassed and got over and came out on top on. And I would also tell her at the bottom line that I'm happy, because that was what she always wanted from me. So I would just update her upon those things. And then I would also tell her every July 8th, I miss her incredibly, because that was our day together. And that I know she still is doing some crazy work, because the most outrageous stuff happens on July 8th all the time. Mm-hmm. And I would just, hug her and tell her I incredibly miss her, but I wouldn't want her to come back, because if that was her time to go, then I want her to continue enjoying her rest and still being that advocate for me. So that's what I would tell her in that 10 minutes of just having her back. Mm-hmm. She did good, and that those things she left behind, they excelled. So, yeah. B?
I'm trying to figure out what's going to make this damn mic.
Well, oh, well, damn. I feel like the lady was like, "Hi, what?" Remember the Chinese the samurai stuff used to come on.
Karate movie. The karate movies.
Karate movies used to be like, "Hey, you, I don't want to hear what you got to say."
B, what are you reading?
I'm trying to see if it's on my end, but if not, I was listening to it before I got on.
See what he put in the back, the Snoopy thing? Keep looking up. That's the secret of life.
Yep.
Brian Atterbury said, I'd ask my dad what I need to do differently than what I was doing, on how different I am from the man I was before he died. How can I be better?
Brian, I can answer.
I love that.
I can answer. He would tell you, I gave you enough to grow on. I planted enough seeds in you to grow on. I gave you enough of me to grow on. And I guarantee you that's what he would say. Because I think when they leave, not only are sometimes they're ready, and I think, oh, that's my cousin Ken, y'all. That's the one that used to take him in his green Cadillac in middle school. That's right, leaning on the Cadillac. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think that those that are ready to go, I think that they have left enough to where we can survive. And again, you guys, this whole show is on mental health. This whole show is on holiday, holiday health. Because I know that this time, those of y'all who are just joining us, because all right, Disney. Magic moment. Because I know that this time of year could be, really down for some people. And we just want to uplift you today. We want to actually just talk about it because that's the best thing that you can do. You can write about it. When her book, in the word, her book says, write the vision down, make it plain so that a herald can take it up. Y'all know it's talking about everything. It's just not talking about your goals. It's talking about everything. And sometimes you may have a vision of peace. Write that down.
Test.
Write that down what that looks like. Sometimes you may have a vision of clarity. Sometimes you may have a vision of what you want your life to look like in the next week. Write that down. Or talk about it. And I think a lot of times we as Black folks, because we don't believe there's mental issues, it's because we don't talk about it. We put it to the side, and you can't keep putting a limp penis to the side forever. One day it's gonna get up. Oh, did I just make that enough?
Yeah, you did. You did. Even if it's up, it's still little love, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Wait a minute, went there. I think I drank the liquor too fast. But I digress. Wait a minute. She just said that's the sound. What's good? I'm just reading some of the comments.
Test. Test.
It's back. So
I feel like we're at a rap concert right now.
Booty, rock it everywhere.
Oh, the cutie, Miss New Booty.
Folks, we don't know what's going on. I think it's the planets aligning. We don't know. But look at that. Byron. Yo.
What? Can you hear me?
I'm making a beat out of echo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me
With no echo.
with no echo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But you can echo.
Okay. Say something, Jay.
I'm fine.
Oh, you're not.
Now I'm not. That's that bull. I should have known.
CJ, can you hear me with no echo?
Yes. But I can hear an echo.
So now I'm echoing.
So we thank you for the last episode of bringing it to the table. I can't deal with it no.
Don said it's a message in triplicate.
I know.
T says I have HD sound.
There's so much that you just don't see. But
I am. Wendy, maybe on the StreamYard.
Okay, Wendy, if you're able to generate a new yard link, let us know, and we will cancel this session and we'll jump on that one. Maybe that'll work.
I don't know about that. It has to be with StreamYard. Well,
all right. Do you guys want to create an all new?
What?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, we're guys. So we'll be right back, and we're gonna come back.
stay tuned.
Now, I'm